Hello again, my name is Oscar Sandoval for those that don't know me. Today I would like to share with you how even the best well thought out vacation plans can turn into a horrible chaotic nightmare when your kids are the deciding factor. This all started about 2 years ago when my sister and I decided to take our yearly trip. We started things out in Florida. It was kind of an adult trip. Great time, great people, amazing nightlife. It was awesome. After that was coming down to an end, it was my kids' turn to have some fun as well. I decided to take them down to Florida, in specific, Disney World. Never been there, neither had they, so I was like, okay, hey sis, you want to come with me? She did the favor and helped me out a little bit as well with my kids because everyone needs a break, right? So that day that this horrific event happened, she decided to leave me by myself and go solo skydiving. So I was like, no way am I taking one. My kids can't go, and I am not going for sure. Why jump out of a good plane, right? She went there, did her thing, and myself, my two kids, and my niece are at the water park. Awesome time, great lazy river. It was fantastic. Up until my son decided to go and explore. The reason I say explore is because he was still in the potty training phase. Well, kind of at the end of it, right? My daughter and her cousin were off doing their own little, I guess, exploring as well. I went to go get them some food. Everyone was still in vicinity of at least eyes or shouts reach. So if anything should happen, and of course, multiple lifeguards and whatever have you. I guess I lost track of where my son was or his ability to move quick in the crowd. And next thing you know, I lost my son. Well, he couldn't have gone too far, especially since, well, there's adults everywhere, especially in semi-cramped spaces. And it was kind of revealing how quick a little 5-year-old, maybe, 47 inches, if anything, can move really quick. I started my training kicked in from my past employment, and I started conducting what's called 05s and 25s, which is what we get taught to how to look for explosive devices on the ground. I started my initial assessment. There was no one there. I updated my baseline, and now I started semi-freaking out because I was like, well, if I return home without my son, my ex-wife is going to kill me. So I started going into the prowl, if you will, looking for my son. I go back to where I thought I could still see him, kind of start retracing my steps even more, to nothing happens. 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes go by, nothing happens. My daughter Anella and her cousin came back and checked in with me. Everything was fine with them, and they noticed that Mattis wasn't around. So I was a little hesitant to tell them that I had lost him or semi-misplaced him or at least lost sight of him. I'm going around and I say, hey, why don't you guys go check over there in the wave pool to see if he's there, whatever have you, and I'll go over here. Well, as I'm going over there, I asked this gentleman behind me to see if he had seen where my son went, and he had pointed up. Well, there was only one direction over there. It was either the snack bar or the restroom. Knowing my son, I'm pretty sure that he went to the snack bar because, well, he loves snacks. Who doesn't, right? I go over there, and as I'm finally about to give up to go find one of the administrators there to announce that, my son had disappeared, I see this little head bobbing out of the crowd going down the stairs, careless, free, innocent little being of life. And he's just coming back and he looks at me where he says, Daddy, where's my ice cream? And I was like, Mattis, where have you been? He says, I went potty, Daddy. And I'm like, well, thank God that I found him. Fast forward the time to last summer, we went to Utah, in specific Zion National Park. Great views, amazing time, and once again with my kids. On one of the days, we had gone to the Utah Olympic Park to see what it was all about, and to do all the zip lining, the jumping off, the fast tubing. It was amazing. Well, this time it was my daughter. she decided to go on her own down this speed tube ride roller coaster thing over and over again. And I knew exactly where the path was, so there was no way that I could lose her. Or so I thought. I should have learned from my first mistake the year prior. The park's closing, about to close, and everything's ready to get, or everyone's packing up. And my sister decided to go ahead of us to go get the vehicle and then bring it back so we wouldn't have to walk, especially with the kids, that they were very tired. Well, I had my son this time. I was not going to lose him. My daughter, on the other hand, kept going over and over and over on the rides. Needless to say, it took about 26 minutes past closing time because some of the rides are still going in specific for training for the actual Olympians or whoever it is that are still participating or doing their thing, right? My daughter comes finally trotting along. She says, "Daddy, that was a blast." And I was like, "Anela, you nearly gave me a heart attack." She says, "Why? Did you lose me?" And I said, "Yes, Anela, I did not even know where you went." She says, "Well, I'm here now. Let's go home because I'm hungry." That is why I believe you should always keep at least one arm's distance, not eyesight's distance or shouting distance of your little kids, especially if they don't know their left from the right. Thanks again for at least tuning in. You guys have a good one.